Good morning, all. Lovely to see you. So, coming into your yoga seat, however that is, however you want to sit this morning. And if you do want to use one of the mudras, I'll just sit a little bit further back. That seems a bit better. Then palms facing up, index finger to thumb, and just a light kind of opening of your wrists on the legs, on the knees. You can also turn down the palms. Lifting is quite nice for a Monday morning, the palms up to get energy rising, wake up the mind, wake up the body after the weekend. Now, just drop your chin into your throat. I'm really just doing this almost for my benefit. I was just looking at myself, as I have to do, on this little screen. I sort of thought, oh my goodness, the alignment of the neck. Drop the chin into the throat, therefore. And then start to take your chin up and just note how your spine lifts and it rises as you do that. You can take the chin all the way up. Now bring your chin so it's level. And tuck in the chin a little bit, almost like you're pulling in a drawer in a cabinet. Now turn the chin over to the right hand shoulder, but see if you can keep the rest of your trunk quite steady, quite still here. Just a few breaths there. Take your chin, holding the rest of the trunk steady, over to the left shoulder. And back again to your center line. Chin dropping down again to the throat. Allow your eyes to shut here. And with eyes shut, lifting the chin back up and drawing it in a little bit. Eyes shutting, feeling your breath. Wherever that point of attention springs to mind. It doesn't matter if it's nose, belly, chest. But wherever your mind is pulled, drawn to, then observe. What noting words spring into the mind as to how you're breathing? Now put down those words now. Come into the feeling tone of the breath. Physical movement of the breath at this point you're focusing on. And eyes opening again, palms turning down. You can still keep the mudra there. And just feeling how the body is with eyes open, senses awake. Belly the spine, draw your knees up. And with knees drawn up, we come round and onto all fours. And I'd like you to lift your belly as you arrive on all fours. You really are working your core in, in quite a simple movement here. Really start to engage the core. And we breathe down into the belly. So draw the breath in. Draw the breath out. Drawing the breath in again. Into the out breath. And up around. And with your out breath, easing back towards your heels. Take a couple of breaths there. And with your in-breath, coming back to all fours, breathing in. Breathing out, back to the heels. We're going to move with the breath from one to the other now. In your own time, breathe in, lift back to all fours. And breathe out, back towards them. Do this one more time. In breath, all fours, out breath back to heels. And arriving back to all fours, breathing in, breathing out. And in breath of left, right arm will lift up. And your out breath, the right arm will lift down. Then do a couple more rounds with the right arm. Breathe in and lift. Onto the other side. Toes tucking under now, and walk your pelvis back towards your heels. Keep the arms stretched out and look forward. Keep the shoulders soft there. We'll take another couple of rounds. And lifting up onto all fours, scoop the chest towards the mat, breathe in, and curve your spine up towards ceiling, breathing out. Again, scooping the chest towards the floor, in breath, and out breath up towards ceiling. Another 3 rounds. And we'll take one more. toes lifting, tucking under. Bring the hands up to the knees and you're lifting up onto the knees now. In breath, palms lifting up. Out breath, a big circle. Take the palms out to the sides of the body, stretch into your fingers, bringing them down. Another in breath. Just keep a light touch of the belly in towards the base of the spine here, which just helps to keep your energy rising up through the body. And create a sense of lightness. More. Take another in breath, palms lifting up. Out breath, out to the sides of the body. Now your fingers are splayed out to the sides, almost like you're pushing the wall away from you. Belly to spine here. Breathe in, take the palms in. Belly to spine. Breathe out. In. And out. Another couple. And one more. Now palms out to either side, just shrug them down, belly to spine here, really, really help. Take the palms up towards the ceiling. Now really soft here, like you're holding something quite light in the palms of the hands. In breath, palms float out. Out breath, pelvis comes back towards heels, the arms will float down, quite a lot of core going on. Breathe into the core. And you're riding down to child forward to the floor. And in breath, coming back up onto the knees, breathe the arms up. Rotate at shoulder height, lift up. And out breath, again. Holding the arms steady, so draw into your core as you start to come down to your heels, breathing out, arriving into child. Couple of resting breaths here. And your in-breath will see you back up onto the knees. Hands on the hips now. And now just circling the hips around in one direction. Okay, and if you just totally relax your belly and then you draw the belly in. So you kind of consciously get that feeling of engaging your core. Back the other way. And the right arm lifting up. Right arm lifts up, stretch it up to the ceiling, and you can see quite, my hand is kind of like pushing the ceiling up with the right palm, stretch down into your left, take the right palm over. Right palm coming down. And the left palm will lift up. And again, you're going to lift up the ceiling with the left palm. And at the same time, just relax that right shoulder down. Belly to spine again. Breathe in and breathing out, left palm coming over. Next round of breath. And left arm will come down to the floor. You can bring both hands down to the floor just in front of you, toes tucking under, and lifting yourself up and walking the hands back into forward fold. Feet tips width apart. Now draw up the backs of your legs. Breathe in. And then breathing out, bending the knees again, and just softening everything, letting the spine narrow. Another in-breath. Lengthen, straighten up the backs of the legs. Breathe in. And breathing out, bending knees. One more round of breath with the in-breath. And breathing out, knees bending. Another in-breath, come up to rise, arms floating up above the head. Breathing in and out breath to the heart. Eyes shutting. Wherever your mind gets drawn to observe the breath, make that your resting point. And finding comfort in the touch of the breath at that point. Holding the mind steady on the breath. It's a light, soft touch of attention on the breath. And eyes opening again. And with your eyes opening again, just come up to the top of the mat, hands still at the heart. Belly to spine now, so really do activate your core. You can also lift up a little bit of pelvic floor just to keep the energy rising up through the spine. Hands at the heart. And with your in-breath, allow the palms to float up. We're going to pause in sky diamond here. The palms can be together. You can separate them a little bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And just draw the shoulder blades back towards one another. Belly to spine. Breathe in. Gaze soft. Look skywards. On the back. Breathing in. And out breath, arms floating down, and take yourself into the forward fold. Now coming into twist now, forward folding, left hand can come to the leg, to the shin, down to the floor. Breathing in, right arm lifts. Pause there for breath. And we'll take one more. When you breathe out, take that right arm down, over to the left hand side, wherever you want to place it. Left arm up. We'll take 2 to 3 rounds of breath. Last round of breath in. Left arm coming down. Now coming into chair, bend the knees, start to lift up, and we pause with the arms at shoulder height. You're in chair, shoulder height, pushing the walls away from you, either sides of the body. Palms coming up. Breathe in, let them float up. Remember, use your core here. Breath, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And coming into twist in chair. Now knees keep facing forward, so you're rotating in the core of the body. Thumbs up on top. Squeeze the shoulder blades together here. Breathe in. And we'll windmill the arms over to the other side. Keep the hips steady, pointing forwards. Left arm comes forward, so you've got both arms together here. Soften your shoulders now. Probably the knees and the legs are kind of shouting a little bit, belly to spine. A deep in-breath, arms floating out. And arrive into a forward fold, straighten out the backs of the legs, let the spine hang, breathing out. One more round of breath. Moving from side to side and twist now. Left hand to right hand side, breathe in. Breathe out, right arm comes down to the left hand side, left arm up, in breath. Left side, breathing in. Breathing out, the arm comes down. And in breath up. In hands. And take yourself back into forward fold. Off of the spine, breathe in. Pause there. See if you can draw up through the backs of the legs at the same time, belly to spine, drawing the spine forward. Palms coming down. A big step back into down dog. In breath, bend the knees, draw sit bones up and back, and straighten out the backs of the legs. One more round of breath. Going to find our way into plank here. So in breath, coming forwards, and just shuffling your shoulders over above your hands, belly to spine now. You can see how important the belly to spine is here. If you let it go, there's tendency to sag a little bit. So drawing the belly up, this helps to keep that long line, keep pressing back into your heels. And knees down, and we'll take pelvis back towards the heels. Looking forward and sliding onto the belly. And I'd like you to really feel the contact of your belly with the floor. Legs lifting. So you're on the belly, the legs lifting. everything as relaxed as you can here. Legs coming down. And we'll take the chest up now. The palms are facing up. Feet down. In breath. Chest lifting. Coming back down. Windscreen washing your knees up and just crisscrossing them from side to side a couple of times. Feet back so they're in balance again. Bring your heels towards your bottom as much as you can, so you really just feel that sense of pushing them into to your butt. In breath, chest lifting. Arriving back down, hands underneath your shoulders now. Feel the belly in contact with the floor. A couple of rounds of breath or so. And from your belly, we'll lift into cobra. And on the next round of breath, into down dog. In breath, your heels lift high. See if you can lift your sit bones even higher for the next round of breath. And out breath, keeping that lift through the sit bones, drop the heels back down. Left arm lifts over the top of the right thigh, slide it down. Right arm, left arm comes back again. A little bit of circling through the pelvis here, or figure of 8 through the pelvis. And right arm to the top of the left thigh, slide it down towards the ankle. Right hand back. So in breath, heels high again, look forward, your sit bones back. And out breath, we'll bring the feet up to the top of the mat. And we're folding. Now in breath, lift up through the backs of the legs. And out breath, you can bend the knees a little bit again, just to soften it. Give that a couple of times. Backs of the legs, bend the knees. And then with the knees kind of straight, just a couple of rounds of breath in forward fold, really stretching out the backs of the legs here. Next round of breath, coming to rise, breathe in, lift through the core. And out breath, back and into the heart. In breath, palms floating up. Coming back into sky diamond, palms above the head, either together, separate, and squeezing your shoulder blades together, belly to spine. And out breath, a gentle folding downwards and into forward fold. In breath, offering your spine. Out breath, palms down, step back into down dog. Through into plank, or you can come into all fours version to come down onto your belly. With an out breath, lower down, belly to the spine. Now again, bend your feet in towards the bottom as much as you can. Breathe in, hands on the ground, lift up the chest. And out breath, lowering the legs down as you take the belly down. Another in breath, knees bending in, lift the chest. Out breath, relaxing back down. One more. And then into cobra, breathing in. And out breath, easing your way back and into down dog. Right leg floating up, really point the toes up. And right foot coming through between the hands. Now bend your back foot, place your back foot on the floor at a slight angle. Hips forward, you're up onto your fingertips. Lunge forward on the front knee. Belly to spine, and we're going to lift up into warrior one. Arms out to the sides of the body. Now belly to spine again. And the arms can float up above the head. Next round of breath. And out breath, we take the palms coming back down again. You're into forward fold down the front leg. Now, as you are doing with your uttanasana, put this kind of bend through the front knee. So we use fingertips. We're going to lift up through that front leg. Breathe in. And then if you want to soften that on your out breath, you can bend it again a little bit. So in breath. And out breath. I've only got my hand up here just to show you the leg. In breath. Into the out breath. Another in breath. And drawing up and back into your sit bones with fold here. Just a couple of rounds of breath. Again, really stretch out the back of the hamstring. And finding your way back into down dog, right leg lifting up. and coming back down. To the other side, left leg lifting up. And the next breath, left leg coming through, the foot coming through between the hands. Flipping back foot down, up onto the fingertips on the front of the mat, belly to spine and lunging into that front knee. We're going to start coming up into warrior, arms out to the sides of the body, pause. Now reaffirm that belly to spine action, and then the palms can float up. Next round of breath. In breath and out breath, palms floating down. We're back into the forward fold. So again, we're going to work with this front leg. With the in breath, you can draw it up. And the out breath, you can either hold it there or else you can just bend it a little bit. Take a couple of rounds. And with your next couple of rounds of breath, as you draw up through that front leg, we're then going to forward fold. And just feel that stretch along the back of that front leg. Next round. And we'll come back into down dog, stretching up the left leg out behind you again. And with your next round of breath, we'll bring the left foot through again between the hands. And once there, walk your hands. You are now facing the long edge of the mat. And you've got your feet a little distance apart from one another. We'll walk the toes out, one step, turning the toes out, turning your heels out to join the toes. So you're a little bit wider apart now. Might want to do that a couple more times, or one more time, or not at all, or walk them back in. Find your stance, breathe in, offer the spine forward. So just make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Also to draw up the belly here, so you really support your core as we come into fold. Breathing out, you're folding down, the elbows point out behind you. You can walk your hands back in a little bit. And aiming with the forehead down towards the floor. So you don't get a choice here really to bend the knees, but you can bend the knees a little bit just to soften the pull on the backs of the legs. And then like we were doing, in breath, you can straighten them up. And out breath, you can just bend them a little bit to soften it. And then for the last 3 breaths,
We'll all just look to root into the outer edges of the feet, and we'll draw up through the backs of the legs again. Palms down to the floor. Now bend your right knee and walk your hands, your right hand over to the right foot, left hand will be in the middle. Now turning, either keep the left foot on the floor or else you can point the toes up to the ceiling, a bit like you're doing a Cossack dance. Up here, that's it. Breathe in, belly to spine. You're going to do the other side, so you'll plant the left foot down, right hand to the middle of the mat, between the feet, left hand over to left foot, and lastly the right foot can lift up if you want to. Right foot down, one more round each side. Then the right hand is all the way over to the right foot. Left hand supporting you in the middle. And over to the other side. Right hand to the middle, left hand over, and right foot pointing up. Take the feet back down now. Just sway your hands resting on the floor, a bit of bend through the knees if you like. And just swaying your pelvis from side to side. So put whatever movement you want into this. Figure of eights is nice. Just to ease out. And we'll walk the hands back around to the top foot, drain that top foot, and take yourself back into down dog. Bend your knees, draw up into your sit bones. And straightening the legs, root down into your heels. Drawing up and back with the sit bones. Then you're going to arrive down to all fours and back to your heels. And come through back and onto your belly. Now take a moment to arrive on the belly. Bending the knees, taking them towards the bottom. Taking the chest up, just a fraction over chest up here. And reaching hands back towards the feet or towards the legs. And in breath, we'll lift the chest up and then lift the thighs up. One more round. And relaxing everything down, hands underneath the shoulders, and windscreen wash of your legs there from side to side. So we're going to take one more round of Dhanurasana. I know isn't the easiest really to kind of find in these in Dhanurasana. So do make any variations that you'd like to here. But bending the knees, taking them in towards the bottom. Lift up the chest, reach back for heels, and a few breaths, lifting chest, lifting thighs. And arriving back down, you make a little pillow for your forehead with your hands. And a few resting breaths, feeling the belly on the floor. Feeling the belly holding on the floor, holding the belly, holding the body. Then hands underneath your shoulders. Breathe your way into an easy cobra. And then we're going to come back and into child, sitting back to heels. And making ourselves as small as possible. Of course, keep your hands in front of you if you prefer to. But if you are comfy, coming down onto the forehead, arms out behind you. Give yourself 3 more rounds of breath there. And easing your way back into kneeling. Finding a comfortable seat, either in kneeling or cross-legged, legs out in front, chair, arms in the lap. Eyes shut. Now, how can you find lift up along your spine? Feel the sit bones, feel the earth. So often we kind of, in life really, the metaphor I suppose is, we tend to pull the spine up, pull the body into shape, here and there. Without you doing anything, your body is breathing. This flow of life,
still, regardless of the thoughts, words, stories we spin around it. Listen to your body breathing, the touch of the breath. As this flow of breath enters, leaves the body, allow yourself to receive, receiving whatever thoughts come to mind, whatever sensation has been offered up, feeling tone. Holding witness the stream of consciousness. As if you're watching a plant growing, just giving yourself these moments of time, space, to allow the body to grow. Find ease in the space around you. Stream of consciousness doesn't really matter whether its tone is. One thing you can decide is the intention towards it. The next few breaths, eyes opening again. And when you're ready to, we're kind of finding our way now down into Shavasana. So we come down onto the spine. And from here, just taking a few moments to ease into a twist, both sides, whatever version you'd like to do of a lying down twist. Just making this gentle, easeful to the body. Take your knees up, over, the other side. And knees back into the center. If you want to just rock a couple of times or just, kind of create patterns with the knees to ease into the back.
yourself a moment or so to do so. And when you're ready to, stretching the legs out and arriving into Shavasana. If you'd like to take a bit longer in your Shavasana, do feel free to carry on lying down. Otherwise, bringing awareness to your surroundings, the sounds in them, and the points of contact of your body with earth. Finding the touch of breath. And breathing out, awareness traveling into the surroundings. Drawing it back in, breathing in. So moving fingers and toes from side to side. And take time as you bend knees, roll over to the side of the body. A few resting breaths. And finding your way up and into sitting. And coming into sitting, we'll finish as we started. Index finger to thumb and palms resting up or down. Eyes shutting. And
gathering your attention up, bringing it to rest in the breath inside your body. And setting intention for the rest of your day and week. And then palms together, drawing the mind to the heart and bowing forward. And closing your practice.